Hello again everyone, and welcome back to LearnLinuxTV. In today's video, we're going to take another look at CrowdSec. Now, I've actually covered CrowdSec in detail on this channel before, but they actually have a new dashboard available that I can't wait to show you guys because it's really cool. Now, CrowdSec itself adds a valuable additional layer of security to your Linux servers, and the dashboard, the CrowdSec Console as it's called, actually gives you a bird's eye view of the health and the status of all of the servers that CrowdSec is helping protect. And enrolling servers into CrowdSec's dashboard is very easy to do. There's literally just one command if you already have CrowdSec installed on that server, and then you're good to go. Now, if you're not familiar already with CrowdSec itself, CrowdSec is awesome. It's a security solution, but it's a free and open source security solution, and it goes about what it does in a very interesting way. CrowdSec adds a valuable extra layer of security for your Linux servers. It keeps an eye on IPs that connect to your server, and it utilizes something called a bouncer to take action if CrowdSec detects something suspicious. And the most exciting thing about CrowdSec is that it utilizes the power of community and collaboration to enhance your security, which is really neat. Another amazing aspect about CrowdSec is that it's available for free. And I don't mean free with a time-limited trial or maybe for a specific number of machines. It's actually free in every sense of the word. And best of all, it's also open source. Now recently, CrowdSec has made available an online dashboard called the CrowdSec Console, and this is going to be our focus in today's video. With CrowdSec's Console, you can manage all of your CrowdSec protected servers in one place. You can even set up additional users and organizations within the dashboard as well. And that makes it not only very useful, but also flexible. And best of all, just like CrowdSec itself, the console is actually free to use. I've had some time to check it out recently, and I came away very impressed, and I'm going to show you all about it in today's video. So if you want to give CrowdSec a shot, how do you actually go about installing it? Well, like I mentioned a few times in this video now, I have other videos on this channel that will go into that process in greater detail, but I figured what I'll do right now is just summarize the process of installing CrowdSec, and if you want any additional information, you can check out the documentation. I'll include a link down below to the installation documentation. And after we go over a summary of the installation process, I'll then switch gears and show you the CrowdSec console in all its glory. And as part of that, I'll even show you how to enroll your devices into the CrowdSec console. So by the end of this video, you'll have everything you need to actually make use of that console. So right here on my screen, I have a WordPress test instance that I decided to create for a completely unrelated reason to this video. I actually wanted to test some automation around WordPress, just one of the many things that I get into. But this server actually doesn't have CrowdSec installed right now, so I figured I would just show you the process of installing CrowdSec on this server, since I'm probably going to install it on this server anyway, and then you'll see the process. Now this server right here is actually running Ubuntu, so all I'm doing is just grabbing the commands that are specific to Ubuntu. But you could run CrowdSec on other distributions as well. But to use the console, we actually need to have CrowdSec installed, so let's go ahead and get it installed. Now what I'm going to do right now is paste in the command that I grabbed from the documentation page. Now what this is going to do right here is it's going to install the CrowdSec repository. It's not going to install CrowdSec itself, just the repository. As of right now, CrowdSec is not available in any repositories by default that I've been made aware of, but they've made this repository available to us to have a place to pull CrowdSec from, and all we have to do is just run this one command. So I'll press enter. I'll type in my super secret password. As we can see, it's detected my distribution as Ubuntu 2204. And that's it. The CrowdSec repository is now installed on the server. So to install CrowdSec itself, the process is as simple as just installing the package. So on my end, what I'll do is run sudo apt install, and then I'll install the CrowdSec package. I'll press enter. I just had to run that one command. It's installing right now. And that's it. CrowdSec is now installed. But let's go ahead and check out how we install a bouncer. And to do that, there's one more package that we'll need to install. And I just grabbed the install command for that bouncer via the documentation pages. And here it is. I've pasted it into my terminal. So all I should have to do is run this command right here. I'm going to need sudo. So I'll add that to the front of the command. And we'll install the CrowdSec firewall bouncer, specifically the IP tables version of that. I'll press enter. I'll press enter again. And now it's installed. Now I know that that's a very basic overview of the installation process. Again, I've gone over that in the past. You could check out those videos if you're at all curious or want to find out more information. But what I'm going to do right now is switch over to the CrowdSec console, because in the next section, I'm going to show you around that console, and then I'll even show you how to enroll your servers into the console. So right here, I have the login page for the CrowdSec console. It's available at app.crowdsec.net. If you don't already have an account, you can click on the subscribe button right here. But on my end, I have an account. I've been playing with this for a while, actually. So I'm just going to use my existing account. So I'll click the login button. Then I'll type in my email address right here. So I went ahead and pasted in my password right here, so I should be able to log in, and then we'll see it in action. So what we have right here is the CrowdSec console. In the first tab right here, we have instances, and that tab will give me an overview of all of the instances that I have enrolled into the CrowdSec console. As you can see here, I have a number of different servers logged in. I have 4 of them currently. But as you can already see in the console, we have quite a bit of useful information here. We have alerts, we see the number of bouncers, scenarios, agents, and we'll be getting into more of that information shortly, but one thing I do want to let you guys know about is that you could change the view. So if you're like me and maybe you prefer a list view, you could certainly get that. Right here, we have a list view. Now, to keep this closer to what you guys will see by default, I'll just go ahead and switch this over to what they call card mode. And as you can see here, I'm back to that mode. But already we can see quite a bit of useful information. So let's go ahead and take a look at a random server. And what I'm going to do is take a look right here at my old blog. I don't really use this site much, but there's a few things on there. I have some alerts, so I could click view to see what those alerts are. Now, another feature that I really like about the console is that we can see which attacks are the most common against our servers. In my case, SSH brute force is easily number 1. There's 5 occurrences there. So we can see that information here. We could also see the most active IPs that are trying to get into the server. So this one right here has tried 4 times. And we have other information here as well. Now, another thing that I think is really cool about this, and I want to make sure that I get this out of the way right now because I don't want to forget to show you this. If I'm curious about an IP, what I could do is just copy that IP. So I'll click on it. And then I'll click copy right here, which will copy the IP address to the clipboard. But what could I do with it after I copy it to the clipboard? Well, actually, let's go over here to CTI, Cyber Threat Intelligence. This is really cool. Let's go down here and paste in the IP address right here in this box. And I'll click the button. And that's going to give me more information about that IP. And this is the information that CrowdSec itself has on this IP. So we can see what the community is reporting, and that'll help us determine, the priority or which IPs we should cover first. Anyway, it looks like we have some reports from other community members here. There's many reports, like it says right here. So this particular IP is actually attempting to get into quite a few servers. Thankfully, I have CrowdSec, so I shouldn't need to worry about that. But it's really cool that I could go in here and find out information about an IP address. That's really awesome. So I'm going to click over here back to the Instances tab. I will be showing you the other sections of the console here very shortly. But what I want to do right now is show you the process of enrolling another server into the console. And actually, it's very easy. So all you have to do is click Add Instance. There's a button right here. And it actually gives me the command that I could use to enroll a server. So what I'll do is copy that. And I'm going to minimize this. And let's switch over to the terminal. And here's the server that I've been working with, my test server. I'll just simply paste in the command right here. And there it is. So what I'll do is press enter. And as you can see, at this point, all I needed to do was paste in that one command. And now this particular server should show up on the CrowdSec console. It's not going to be accepted as of yet. You still have to accept it. But this part was very easy. So all I should have to do is switch back to the browser. And here we are. So right here, we have an enrollment request. So all I had to do was just run that one command on the server after installing CrowdSec, And then right here in the console, that server has already reached out, is trying to make a connection. And all I have to do is click the accept button, which I'll do right now. And then it's been accepted. So right here, we have the new instance. Now we have a default name right here that isn't very descriptive. So what I recommend is that you go to the settings gear right here, and let's edit. And we're going to edit the name. So what I'm going to do is call this one WordPress test. So I know that this is actually my WordPress test instance. And then I'll click update. Now we don't have a lot of information here. There's no alerts. And according to this, there's no bouncers either, which isn't true, but that's to be expected. The output literally told us that after we enroll the server, we should restart CrowdSec. So I'll switch back to the terminal, and let's go ahead and do exactly that. So what I'll do is run sudo systemctl, restart, and then CrowdSec. And then let's check the status because I want to make sure that there's nothing funny going on. I don't see any reason why there would be, but that's what it is to be a Linux administrator. You're always double and triple checking everything. It's just habit at this point. Anyway, I'll press enter. And of course it's running. I didn't actually change anything on the CrowdSec side, on the server side of things, other than adding it to the console. So again, no reason to think there would be a problem, but I'm a fan of double and triple checking. But we should be actually done on the server side. And pretty soon this information should actually update. So what I'm going to do is actually refresh the page right here. And this is already updated right here. It's showing that we have one bouncer, which is true. And then I'm sure that I'm going to have some alerts. I haven't really done much to configure the security of that server. So I'm sure there's going to be all kinds of things for CrowdSec to find a problem with because I've literally done nothing. It's just a test instance. But as you can see, the process of enrolling a server into the dashboard is very easy to do. You simply install CrowdSec, you sign up for an account on the console, and then you enroll the device. And now I have 5 total instances here on my account. Now let's just go through the console a little bit more and see what else we could discover about the console. So I'm just going to click right here where it shows more details. So we get an ID number here. And we also get some information about which scenarios are actually at play or enabled for this particular server. So that's pretty useful. And you know what? I'm going to go back to the Instances tab. And I can do the same for, other servers like my Nextcloud server, for example. We see that there's 14 scenarios. We see information about the bouncer right here. So that's pretty useful. Now let's also look at the settings page as well. There's something specific that I'd like to show you guys. So if I go down here to organizations, this is really cool, by the way. We have the ability to create an organization. So one potential use case for this is, let's say that you actually assist with more than one organization, or maybe your organization itself has multiple companies underneath its umbrella. So basically, if you, as the administrator, actually manage systems for more than one organization, you can actually divide your instances into organizations. So, for example, what I could do right now is create a new organization. And what I'm going to do is call it LearnLinuxTV. Big surprise, right? And right here, it's giving me an option to move servers that I already have enrolled into the console into this organization. And what I want to do is choose Let Me Choose. And then what I'm going to do is choose this one, this one, this one, and this one, not the test instance. And then I'll click Create Organization. And check this out. It's already switched to the organization. So as you can see, we have the LearnLinuxTV organization on my end. We could also control which members are a member of that organization. So I can click Invite Somebody if I'd like to add someone on there. And that's especially useful if you work in a team with other administrators. So you can invite all of your team members there to help you manage this or also take a look at it. But another thing that I really like about this is that with the paid plan, you could have more than one user. And each of these users can have their own roles and responsibilities. So for example, you might have somebody that needs to see the dashboard, or you want them to have access to view information about the server, but maybe you don't want them to change anything. You could absolutely do that. And if you work in an organization, you probably have a number of those people that would like to see what's going on that might not have the technical level that you have, but still might benefit from the information nonetheless. And since we have billing and plans listed right here, let's go ahead and check it out. This will give you an idea about what you get for free and also what you might have to pay for. So as you can see, I'm on the free plan. That gives us community support. And what you get is, well, the things that you have listed right here. We also have some additional settings there, but let's go ahead and take a look at what the difference is. So I'll click Upgrade to Pro. And here we have some information about how the Pro plan differs from the free plan. And I have to say, they give you a lot for free, so maybe some of you guys out there won't even need anything more than that. Now, one of the benefits that you get with the paid plan that I think a lot of companies are actually going to need is to have longer retention. So with the community plan or the free plan, when it comes to data retention, we have 500 alerts or 7 days. After that, it's just going to age out things. So if that's okay for you, then you could just go ahead and roll with this. But if you're like most companies, maybe you have a legal requirement to retain information for longer. So with the paid plan, you can go up to 30 days. It also gives you access to 5 users. And then you also have actual support from CrowdSec themselves, which might be very useful, especially if you're a company. Now, you do get community support with the free plan, which might be good enough for you. But most organizations, they really like to have a support agreement. So having that is probably going to check a lot of boxes for companies out there. So if you are one of those that need that kind of thing, well, you have access to that right here with the paid plan. There's also an enterprise plan. I won't be going over that in this video. I just want to let you guys know that it exists. But on my end, I'm going to stick to the free plan. Again, you can consider the pro plan if you need any of these features here. But you know what? They're very generous with the free options here, so I think this is going to be good enough for me. And I've shown you guys like all of the features that I like personally, but I think the biggest thing for me is having an overview of every server that I maintain. And I have additional servers that I use as well that I'm going to enroll right here into the dashboard. But as you can see, the CrowdSec Console is very useful. It's free. The free plan actually gives you access to quite a bit. If you need the pro features, you could go that direction. But here at the free account, it's very powerful. So there you go. In this video, I give you guys a brief refresher on what CrowdSec actually is, how to install it, and then we checked out the console. The CrowdSec Console is really awesome. It's actually something that I use for my business, and I think you guys would like it as well. So definitely check it out. Just like CrowdSec itself, the console is free. So you can install CrowdSec on all of your servers. There's no contact form. There's no sales agent calling you and, telling you that you need to pay for it. It's actually free in every sense of the word. It's also open source. You can get involved and you can actually start your security career with CrowdSec by being involved with CrowdSec itself. And that's awesome. If you find value in a console, then you can consider that as well. As I just showed you, it's very easy to enroll your server into the CrowdSec console. And then I clicked around and showed you guys various features that are actually offered from the console. I think it's a really awesome service. So definitely check out the CrowdSec console and CrowdSec itself, and let me know what your thoughts are in the comments down below. Now, CrowdSec might not make your servers bulletproof, but it is a valuable added layer of security that I really can't understand why anyone wouldn't want to benefit from. It's available for free. It offers a powerful addition to your security regimen, and I really recommend it. So anyway, I will see you guys in the next video. I have some awesome videos coming very soon, so please subscribe if you haven't already done so, and I'll see you again very soon.